When you can't have something, it makes you want it more. The allure of forbidden fruit is infuriating. This phone has practically double the charging speeds of the Galaxy S24 Ultra, more advanced wireless capabilities than the iPhone 15 Pro Max, a bigger battery than the OnePlus 12, and smokes the Pixel 8 Pro in performance. The catch? You can't buy it in the US. Today we're talking about a no-nonsense flagship smartphone with all the bells and whistles that you'd expect. Crazy high-end latest Snapdragon processor, loads of memory at 12 or 16 gigabytes, and storage that starts at 256 gigabytes, goes all the way up to 1 terabyte. We're talking about a phone whose display will wow you, whose build will impress you, and whose lack of availability in the US will certainly frustrate you. This is the Honor Magic 6 Pro, and you've heard quite a lot about it already in this video, so I'm just going to get on with it. From a hardware perspective, both inside and out, there's not much to not like about the Magic 6 Pro. It's rapid thanks to the impressive internal specifications, making it about as fast as any other phone on the market. Yes, that includes demanding games and multitasking if you're trying to balance 3 social media accounts, for example, at the same time. Thanks to its 12 gigs of RAM in this particular model, the Magic 6 Pro should last 3 or 4 years minimum before really starting to slow down. And longevity-wise, the 5600 mAh battery, combined with 80 watt wired and 66 watt wireless charging, have you covered there too. Keeping the phone going for 2 days easily, but also giving you the option to top up quickly in a pinch. Unfortunately, this time around, Honor has omitted the charger from the box, and I really don't like that, but it is what pretty much every other phone maker is doing right now, so yeah. But I'd say that this internal hardware isn't a match for what's found externally. This phone is built to almost perfection in my opinion. I say almost because it has sustained a little ding in the bottom. It was there when I got the phone, I promise, right? But the specs and on-paper description definitely don't do this phone justice. It's beautifully curved in every way with some gorgeous chamfers, and between the sleek, albeit very slippery, and dense weighting, it feels every bit as premium as an S24 Ultra, even more so in my opinion. Now, the 2 asterisks are that the curved sides are a little last year, but Honor's accidental touch rejection is on point, and the giant camera bump on the back, while I don't mind it, is going to be a turn off for a lot of people because it stands out like a sore thumb and can't really make up its mind whether it wants to be circular or square, so kind of does both. The buttons are tactile, there's IP68 waterproofing, so it should survive a drop in a pool or bath, and the speakers also get pretty loud, very loud actually. They might lack a little low end, but the clarity is definitely there. The optical in-display fingerprint scanner is a bit hit and miss, but at this price point, I think Honor really should have gone with an ultrasonic version for added reliability. But that display, no, that's definitely not a problem. To be honest with you, it's hard to find a phone with a truly poor display these days. We are beyond the slow IPS and awful POLED panels of the past, but this 6.8-inch Quad HD Plus 120Hz LTPO OLED is a very nice screen. If you can put up with the glare introduced by the curved sides, which to be fair really isn't that bad when you crank the brightness up, the Magic 6 Pro's display is delightful and super smooth too. Even that pill-shaped punch hole is a decent size too, keeping everything looking clean and modern. Speaking of, in that punch hole resides not only the 50 megapixel selfie shooter that we'll talk about a little later, but the time of flight sensor required for the pretty secure face unlock. This system isn't just taking a photo, but kind of does what the iPhone does with the full 3D scan of your face. I like having this as an option because most phones just use basic 2D photo scans. But the photos that the Magic 6 Pro takes are honestly really good. Here are the camera specs, so pause the video if you really need to dig into the details because I really want to move on to the samples. Say what you like about the Pixel 8 Pro, the Galaxy S24 Ultra, this phone is nibbling at the heels of those phones, if not taking chunks out of them at times. Whether you're taking photos at night, during the day, with or without portrait mode, or with any of the 3 lenses, the Magic 6 Pro has some really capable cameras. I thoroughly enjoyed taking it out to shoot some photo and video samples for the review, and dare I say it reminds me of those Huawei phones that I absolutely loved back in the day. You know those terrible dedicated macro cameras on cheap phones? Well, the 6 Pro proves you don't need one of those to capture some really good close-up photos. It might be a little gimmicky, but it's nice to have and I like having the mode here. The 6 Pro's cameras aren't perfect. I think sometimes the ultra-wide can struggle a little bit in low light, and there are times where the portrait mode cutout is a little off too. And I'm not sure why there really needs to be a separate aperture mode and portrait mode. I think they could easily be combined or merged together. But in stills, this phone is right up with the best, and I'm a massive fan of the colours especially. And it's just as good in video too. It'll record up to UHD 4K 60fps, but a lot of my footage was shot at 30 to match this video. I'll denote where I've adjusted frame rates on screen. And speaking of oddities, there are certainly some strange software similarities with iOS, such as in the Weather app, the Control Center app, quick settings menus, the camera app, and in the full fat settings themselves. Now, this is no iPhone. The Magic 6 Pro runs macOS 8 atop Android 14, and to a lot of Android enthusiasts, Honor's software is a little love-hate. I really like it, and I can get on with its quirks. It functions well, and I have had no complaints in my week or so with the phone. There has been some fairly poor software support from the firm in the past, and the company still takes its sweet time to deliver new Android versions. Honor's website is guaranteeing 4 major software updates and then a further year of security patches. I don't know how many people really hold onto their phone for more than 5 years, but if you do, and you're in places where the Magic 6 Pro is sold, then maybe consider going for a Pixel 8 Pro instead. But to be quite honest with you, you'd be hard pressed to convince me to buy the big ticket Pixel over this phone. It has a nicer design, better battery life, much more potent performance, and has all the camera features that I personally really want, even if it lacks some of the software magic that the Pixel has. Does it have Audio Eraser and Magic Editor? No, and those things are what a lot of people seem to value, but not enough to supersede Samsung's smartphone market share. There we go. But at the end of the day, it's a real shame you can't buy this phone in the US. Despite its £1,100 pricing, about the same as a Galaxy S24 Plus or iPhone 15 Pro Max, and more expensive than the OnePlus 12 and Pixel 8 Pro, I would genuinely still consider the Honor Magic 6 Pro. It is that good. It's the best phone the company has ever made, and at least in Europe, it's coming for the big boys. Let me know what you make of the Magic 6 Pro in the comment section. Are you as big of a fan as I am of this? Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to hit like if you enjoyed today's content, and subscribe if you haven't already to never miss another upload. I've been Ryan Thomas with Android Police, and I'll catch you later. Cheers.